Stream started. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. How are you doing today? Hi. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I just heard that apparently there has been an earthquake somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, and now there is a tsunami alert for South America. Like a few minutes ago. Huh. I didn't really get chance to look into it, but it popped up in my feeds, so it kinda caught my attention. Yeah. Yes. A tsunami alert for South America. Indeed. Apparently there has been an earthquake somewhere on the Pacific. Yeah. I'm not really sure exactly where or what. It might be just a hoax. I'm not sure. Yeah.
E.
Welcome, Lisette. Welcome. Yeah. So apparently there is an alert going. I don't know. But it seems there was an earthquake, 6.5 magnitude on the Fiji Islands, and apparently there is a warning for South America. I have not yet quite confirmed the information, so currently it's just a rumor. Parece ser una falsa alerta. No hay información en internet. Huh. There are no information on the internet, actually? Yeah, 6 is not that bad. It depends more on the location of the tsunami. It apparently happened on the ocean, so there is a chance of some tsunami in certain areas, I guess, but I cannot really find information, so it might be just a random journalist panicking a little bit too much, because I don't see any alerts or warnings on the usual channels I follow. So they might be just delusional. Yeah. Another news. I was eating popcorn a few minutes ago, and I had a bit of uh, skin, seed skin, popcorn skin stuck between my teeth, and it's annoying me. I already broke a toothpick trying to remove it. Shush. Okay, I got it out. Finally, God damn it. Finally. It was really bothering me. Okay. So, I discovered something interesting. I can actually just started bleeding. Really, I usually don't poke at my flesh, right? I usually press against the teeth and try to pull it that way, because that way I know I won't really hurt myself. Yeah, so I've been working on something that is kind of interesting. I don't know if you would like to see the work in progress. You know that I don't have a be right back screen, right? Well, I've been working on a be right back screen. Currently, I don't have like a background image for the thing, so I might just have to figure that one out first. But I got this nice idea from a Monarch, a be right back screen, where she basically has this like what call it, demo reel playlist of her clips playing while she's away, and I found that to be very smart. Yeah. So I decided I could probably do something like that. Yeah. So look, this is what I have. Basically, it is playing random clips. And I decided to add the title of the clip below. Yeah. It's basically what I have currently. I think I need to do something to basically loop it, because currently it is Yeah. So I'm trying to figure it out. Currently, it's still not working quite correctly, but I was planning on building something like this. Yeah. Basically. For some reason, it kind of stops with this clip. It's kind of not working correctly. Now it's working correctly. Yeah, but that's what I have. I think it's kind of interesting.
Stream started. LOE.
And then working on that. I will need to add like a background and maybe some animation. I kind of want to add something so the background is not like unmoving, basically. Yeah. So if you guys have any clips you would like to see there, you can suggest them. Yeah. Maybe a little you spinning? What do you mean spinning? Like rotating randomly? A cheap version? I could. Yeah. The other day I was watching Peachy stream, and she was talking about I don't even remember what she was talking about, but for some reason I suggested maybe she should have like oh, I remember why. She was talking about raids, right? And she was talking about maybe changing her raid alert. And I suggested she should like make an animation of her like flying from above, like her on a cloud, flying across the grid and dropping like bombs as she passes through to make it a little bombing raid. I thought it would be funny. Even though I know she wouldn't do it, right? Because an animation is difficult, right? But that got me thinking. She has been the goddess of the weather. She should have like a Lakitu style emote or something, right? It just simply would make sense, right? And as I was thinking about it and the air raid, I started to imagine her like flying through the skies, Goku style, on a cloud. And I couldn't help myself. So, let me show you something. That I did yesterday also. I made this while I was watching her stream. Just because I couldn't really heal myself. I just couldn't get it out of my head, so I decided to just make it. I posted it on her art channel on her Discord server. But yeah, I just simply couldn't not do it. It was such a good idea that I was like, I had to do it. Even though I'm not the best at drawing, I thought that kinda looked quite nice. Yeah. Because of that little art piece, I think I can maybe make my own emotes. What do you guys think? I'm starting to think that maybe I can actually get something at least half decent. Yeah, because I saw the little art piece that I did, and I was like, maybe it's not that far-fetched of me actually doing my own emotes. Yeah. Emoting. Yeah. So yeah, I've been thinking about that. A lovely emote. Yeah. It would be like me saying lovely, but extremely disappointed. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I have been thinking about lately. Yes. Also, I have like, what is this? So, pañe. Yes, that's also probably a good emote. That would work. Yes. I have this like set of like ideas that I have for art that I just think about it and never actually execute. But I do like save the idea, right? So here I have one, let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, that's not it. 9, 10, 11, 12 different art pieces that I think it will look pretty nice. Yeah. Actually, it's more than 12. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 22. Yeah, 22 art pieces that I want to make, but I don't believe I have the skills to make, right? So, maybe I can start with the emotes. That would be probably nice practice, and then I can move to the art pieces. Yeah. Maybe if I do it with a time limit, it would be interesting, because that means I'm forced to cut corners, right? And not be so perfectionist about the piece. And that might actually make me improve by force, like having to know how to do things more efficiently and the correct way, rather than randomly experimenting and blindly doing things. That could be an option. Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah. Good idea, you guess? So yeah, that's one option. Then shall we move on to the game design? Let me just grab my map real quick. Oh, that's something different. Assets. Where did I put that? Wait, where was that? Oh, here it is, okay. For a moment I forgot where I had this thing. Okay, so let us move on to the in-depth screen real quick.
Stream started. L-O-E-E.
Hello. Okay, so last time we pretty much finished with all the puzzles, but there was this one thing that we had missing, and that is this bottom section right here. There is basically one puzzle right here where you need to light the torches to make the chest appear, right? And I believe I don't have these particular things. These ones? Yeah. Yeah, the fire stick puzzle, basically. So I believe we need to do that. What the fuck? Are you seeing this? What is happening over here? What the hell? Why are there... Why are there so many things right here? What the fuck? Look at that! What the fuck? What the hell? It's like the inspector is open a few times over. Yeah, look at that. There is like 3 windows. The hell? They're not even supposed to be there. Yeah, look at that. There is 3. Huh? Okay, give me a moment. That's weird. I'm going to restart my Game Maker Studio. I don't know what the fuck happened there, so 1 second. Okay, that's not good. Basically, the tabs are still there. Oh, I can close them. Okay, that's good. What the hell happened there? Yeah, I never seen that before. I don't even know how to open them. There is no option to open more tabs right here. It's because I double click too many times? No, it's not really opening more. Huh, what the hell? Well, whatever. That's a bit concerning, but we can proceed like this. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Okay, first we need to make a sprite. Right, maybe I should separate this and make a group. And let's call this also pieces to have all these bits that are basically part of the puzzles. Just basically be on a different place, so I don't have to deal with them. Oh, the timer switch also belongs over here. Yeah, I believe that's good. Okay, so let's make a new sprite. Sprite. Script, not sprite. A sprite right there. Okay, so you will be sprite underscore. Let's call it. How do we call it? I'm inclined to call it. What is the correct name for them? Portable pillow. I believe there is a specific name for the ones that are like from ancient times. Let me check real quick on the internet. Is campfire on a plate. Campfire on a plate tiene refresco por todo el porque se pasa por temporada ancient. Fire pieces or cooking? No. Brazier. Is this? Brazier is a container used to burn charcoal or electricity fuel for cooking, heating, or rituals. It often takes the form of a metal box with feet, but some places make it of terracotta. Brazier, yeah. That brazier, he said, is a different kind of brazier. The one I'm talking about is the one with the set. Let's see, pyre, I believe is something also, right? What's a pyre? A pyre is also known as funeral pyre. Is a structure usually made of wood for burning a body. Okay, that's a different thing. Yeah, that's definitely not the one I wanted. Yeah, I suppose it's a brazier. How is this pronounced exactly? Because I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Brazier. Right? Brazier?
Brazier.
Brazier? Let's ask the other DTS.
Brazier.
So the A sounds like a Spanish E, so it would be brazier. Yeah. Brazier. Brazier. Okay, fine. It's a brazier. God damn it. It's so difficult to use the correct pronunciation here. Okay, whatever. So it's like that. Collect brochure and let's call this one the off version, and we will need an on version. Okay, let me check actually. Is that, where does that name come from exactly? Select your for the ritual is made for terracotta. Sensation times. Oh wow! Brasier is a type of French restaurant with relaxed seating with served dishes and other meals. We have the brazier, the fire thingy. We have brasier, the French restaurant, and we have brasier, the actual bra, the undergarment. Wow. Yeah, it's actually French in origin. Brazier meaning hot coals. Wow. Okay, let's see. So, what do we do here? Brazil is actually a type of wood. Brazil. Really? Interesting. Yeah. How do we make it? Shall we make it a square? Or shall we make it a round? Chile, Chile. In Spanish, Chile is actually means
Hi, can someone give me a summary of what
like
this
pepper.
game is? I am new here.
Hello, welcome. So, just as a summary, since you are just arriving, this is a game based off the original Zelda, that is the 1986 Zelda, right? So I set myself some rules for how the game is going to be created, right? The game has to meet certain, like, I call it watermarks. Basically, everything the original game had, I have to have also, right? So if the player uses a sword, my character has to have to use a sword, right? If the original game had 9 dungeons, I have to have 9 dungeons, right? If the original game had a certain amount of enemies, my game has to have at least the same amount of enemies, right? Basically, I need to meet the original game at its height, right? To reach its watermark at the very least, right? From that point onwards, I can just add as much as I want or remove as much as I want, but I must, at the very least, meet the game 1-to-1, right? That's the goal. Currently, we are working on the second dungeon. Just to give you a small overview, this shush cell phone. This is the design I made for the dungeon. Basically, we have an entrance with certain coordinates that I use to label the maps, right? That goes into a main room. This main room has a little puzzle to obtain the dungeon key. And to be able to actually obtain the dungeon key, you need the dungeon item, right? To get to the dungeon item, you have to basically hunt down a few different keys spread throughout the dungeon for you actually make your way, right? There are puzzles, there are enemy encounters, etc. Right? And that's what I'm currently working on. I also have to design basically the boss, right? When it comes to what I already have built, you can see here a little demo. Let me go from the start. Oh wait, that's the previous boss. Oops. Let's start with Faltry. We have a little cutscene for the game, right? And then we are dropped into the game. Currently, there is only some dialogue. I'm missing a few characters for this little cutscene, but it's coming along together, right? After the cutscene, you can move. There is some things that are not going to be here, like the heart you just saw, because I'm basically experimenting still, right? But you can actually walk around this world. I just screwed myself over. Hold on. There are some books still. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Let's spam through that. Okay, so we are right here. And you can see I already have some enemies that are working correctly. They do attack and everything if you get close enough. We have items and pickables. You can attack. Currently there is no sound because I have not really worked on that. Yeah. This map is basically based on the original Zelda also. Basically, the map size is at least as big as the original Zelda's map size, because that's basically the rule set I set myself with, right? These are not the only types of enemies that exist here. You can see I have the first dungeon right here. This map looks much better with the grass. Yeah. Right, I forgot to enable that. You can see the first dungeon right here. I might have screwed something over right there. Whoops. Okay, there is an issue right there. I will have to fix it. Oops. Yeah, I've been working on this for a year. Just about. Yeah. Yeah, there is an issue with the map navigation because I screwed over with some variables, and so currently it's not working perfectly. But if you would like to check my game, there is actually a prototype version publicly available on my Patreon for free. You don't have to pay anything. And you can check out my game. Yeah. Also, the source code is publicly available for you to learn if you're interested. Yeah. What language and IDE are you using? I'm currently developing this on GameMaker Studio. I'm using the native language to GameMaker. Yeah. It's a language very similar to Python, basically. Oh, by the way, I learned this engine, GameMaker, along with the development of the game. Yeah. So you can actually see me learn the whole way through how to do it. This is the second dungeon right here. It's not completed, it's the one I'm working on, basically. Yeah. Currently. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, so if you're interested, you can actually play the game by yourself. You can report the bugs if you like. I have a dedicated channel on Discord for doing that. Yeah. I was too slow. But yeah, I'm working on this. Currently, because I noticed that I was developing this a little bit too slow, I decided to go with using placeholders. You might notice the walls are basically white, just blank. That is because it's not going to be the final art for the game. I'm basically deciding to leave the art aside just so I can actually progress through the game, because I'm taking a little bit too long developing the game. Yeah. This is going to be a mini boss room. Over here you will get the dungeon item, right? And then you can actually use fire like this. Yeah. So if you're interested, you can actually play it. Yeah. Currently, we are trying to make another element of the dungeon. Basically, a brazier to light up using the torch. We have the little fire spell we can use. Yeah. And I was deciding on what appearance should I give it. Should I give it like the typical, what to call it? The typical appearance that is like this. Right? Like that. And then you have the fire right here. Having the fire right here. Right? Should I do it like this? That's fine, no issue, don't worry about it. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. Also, particularly my game development streams are a bit heavy on the mind, so don't worry about it. Yeah. I hope you have a nice rest. Yes. Shape it like a skull. Shape it like a skull. You mean something like making it like this? And then having the quarter right here. Like that, you mean? It looks a bit weird, in my opinion. I would have got the jaw just to like make it look like it can be standing. It will also be a bit of a problem if I need to rotate it, because the skulls are not symmetrical. A tiki head. A tiki head. So it would be like something like more square. Like so. And then I can just make like an eye like this and a big nose. Something like that. Oh, I was thinking on a square sticky head, but you mean a cylinder. I see. I don't know. It seems a little bit out of place in the ballet, the more I think about it. Yeah, it's fine. I'm taking suggestions. Well, if it's just a placeholder, I can just make it like a stump. A stump. Here is stump. Would you have a first stump inside a forest? Take into account this dungeon is like a forest dungeon. A ball on fire. When you put it like that, I think of a ball. Like this, the ball, right? And I'm sure you mean like with the fire right here, right? But when I read that, I thought like something like this. A literal flaming ball. That one as a joke. A flaming ball. But this one is in glove fire. That would be funny, actually. Yeah. So let's make it balls. And this one in particular is going to be on fire. So let me just make us a proper circle. I like the idea of having a flame ball. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we're putting a razor in a extremely flammable forest. Something like that. And then I can make another one like that, and this one is going to go below like this. Let's make that of a different color. Ah, wait, did I not set it correctly? I didn't set it correctly. Like that. Right? And then I just need to add some legs to this. So let's just like, I will do it like this, maybe on black actually. That looks kinda okay-ish. Let me add an additional layer. Like that, and I will just copy this and just flip it like that, and I will add a different layer, and this one will be like over here, just to give the impression that there is more legs behind. Wait, and on the ground layer. And like that. Actually, maybe lower. Like that. What do you guys think? Does that look nice? Then I can put something like brownish, like this, on the middle. Like on top. I didn't mean to move this one. You go to the back. This one on the way to the top. Something like that. I think it looks pretty good. Maybe. Shall I give it an outline to make it look a little bit better? Like I can just give an outline like actually maybe redo that. The refills with falling branches. That would be quite a feature. How does that look? It looks a bit weird in my opinion. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Okay, so we have our little brazier. Let's go to our objects and we will make a new puzzle piece object. And that's going to be an object right there. Object, and that's going to be called object on the ground. On the score, what do you mean over ground? What do we call it? Brazier, just like that. Why didn't you select that one? Okay, there we go. Okay, so we I suppose we can just grab the parent for entity. That would be probably a good idea. Menus, educator, object annotation. You're not here. Well, entity parent right here. Right, that gives us the events and also gives us the value right here. Right. Okay, we have no response time. I don't need that. I don't need the drops. Try UI. Okay, so I'm going to just overwrite this one and this one. I don't need those. And we have these variables right here. The chat names, I can just name it here. Right. Let's see, the book, we can leave it like that. Internet, state, icon, direction, none. We have a state also. Okay. So, what I'm going to do here is basically make a step function, step event, and we will use the switch. Okay. Ready? Case. State. Burnt. When we change a state to burnt, we switch sprite underscore index is going to be a different sprite. Sprite underscore pressure on, right? And we need to trigger our own variable, so we need a trigger. by default is going to be in false, right? Actually, that gives me an idea. Hold on. Instead of doing that, how about I just add the variable over here, trigger. Let's make it a boolean, default state false, and I will add another that it will be the timer, integer, right? So you can set a by default that will set it to -1, right? Okay, so we have this variable right here, right? When we get burned, we switch our trigger to true, right? And then we need to check if the timer is greater than 0, we start a countdown, right? Countdown. We simply remove 1, right? If the countdown is under or equals to 0, then we set trigger to be false. Right, and we need the timer to be greater than 0 and the trigger to be on, right? Like that. Our countdown variable, I will set it once we trigger. We will simply set a countdown to equal to timer. Right? That way we start the countdown whenever this becomes true. If we have the timer greater than 0, then it will start counting down. If not, not. Okay, right? And I will just set countdown here equals to -1 by default. Right? I have here a collected trigger, allows me to check the state of many objects, right? And here I'm checking for triggers to trigger that. And triggers is basically currently just lock switch or player switch. Currently, I can add one more right here to be object underscore brazier, right? And with that, we can choose to check for braziers. Okay. Nice. In theory, now we can do a little test. So we go back to our map. Let's see, I'm gonna close this one because I don't need it. And what is this? This is the little boss battle. Oh, we are right here. Okay. I'm going to do something very simple. I'm going to grab our brazier right here. And I'm going to just... Oh, I forgot to center the image. Right here. You. Top left to middle center. Okay. So, view. Oh, this is the image, not the object. Object. Okay, right here. I'm going to place one right there and one right here, right? And to trigger them, I'm going to grab the hidden collected trigger, right? I will put it just over here, right? And what I'm going to do here is very simple. I'm going to switch these to the brassiere, and the target is going to be the hidden spawn, right? And simply we will grab the ID right here and put it right there. That's our target, right? So this trigger will alert this little spawn right here, and the spawn is going to simply drop object underscore key, small key, small hard not small key. The location of the small key is going to be the same as here, and that would be x32 144. So x32 144, right? This is another. Oh, I don't really need to. Huh. I don't really need the other one. Hold on. That means I can just grab the hidden spawn right here and just add the variable to the list right here. And let's set this to object underscore like that. Just add it to the list, and that means over here I can just select this the brassiere. Okay, and we can ignore this one, we don't need it. Right, so now if I remove this key, I can literally now go to this location on the dungeon, right? We go into the dungeon, we switch to our little flame, right? And I turn one on, and then I turn the other up. I just knocked myself into the object. Ah! I didn't expect that to happen. Turn that, turn this, and nothing happens. Lovely, because I never added the brassiere to the entity list. I forgot to link the fire, literally. Scripts, attack. Okay, so here on the hit list, we need to add our lovely object underscore brazier, right? And in theory that should solve the issue. File 2. Right, we go over here and it just poof, wrong item. This poof, oh yeah, I forgot to create the. Oops. I forgot to create the other version of the brazier. Come on, double. There we go. And we will call this on. Right. And here I'm just going to add lousy fire. So I'm just going to just like just create something like this. And we add a few extra planes right here. And I grab the fill tool and we just fill it. I grab the yellow and I will put that like on the bottom, like this, right? And then I will add the orange and just do a squiggle or something. Like that, right? And that's it. And we go over here, go to the left, and we poof. And that's now on, right? So if I turn the next one, poof, aquí spawns. Huh? 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 It's working, it's working. Ta-da! Yay! So that's working now. Lovely. What are they for exactly? Just aesthetics? Not really, it's just for a puzzle, basically. Right here on our basement of the dungeon, basically we have these unlit braziers right here, right? Basically what you need to do is just turn them on to spawn the chest right here that has basically a treasure in it. Yeah. That's all this is for. This is the only point in the whole damn dungeon that I actually going to use these razors. Yeah. Basically. Ah! Shit, I just closed the window. I didn't want to do that. Hold on, hold on. There we go. Okay. So we have that. And now we can... Are you going to make it dark like the caves in Pokemon? I want to, but not for this place. Because that's a bit too advanced currently, sadly. Yeah. Yes. This is basically the last piece we needed to complete the current design for the dungeon. Yeah. Actually, let me add one more thing before I forget. This thing, the brazier, I want to reuse it as literally an aesthetic piece. So what I'm going to do here is check if we are triggered. Then we simply switch our thingy over here, the sprite, and that's it. Just so I can set them to be lit by default. Yeah. Right? So now that we get that done, we are going to place all the bracers on the map right here, all over the place. But first, I'm going to do this one because I believe it's necessary. Yeah. Ah. Okay. So we go over here. Not this one. This one. Okay. So we're in this spot of the map. We only need one right there and one across, and that's it. Okay. So right here, I'm just going to move this one over here. They feel like they are really big. These little fire thingies feel like they are very big in comparison to everything else. Do you guys feel the same way? They feel really, really big. Should I make them smaller, maybe? They do feel huge, I must say. I can kill this thing right here. I don't know. Should I go through the trouble of making them smaller? And the question is how smaller, right? Would it be better if they were like that? Or maybe should I go for something like this? Maybe it's later if they look beside the finished wall. Yeah, I suppose. So I can grab this and just go over here and grab the trigger to be true. And that way they will spawn bleed already. And I don't really have to worry about them. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the piece of map we were planning this for. And where are you? That's objects, that's scripts. I need rooms. Dungeon 2, big one. We want this on the 803 basically. Okay. So let's go to 803 right here. Okay, so we will grab our braziers. How many do we have? 3 on the bottom, 4 on the top. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. And we have 4. 1, 2, 3. And this one is aligned right here. I think actually this looks better if I do it like this. Right, and they need to spawn a treasure chest. Wait, there is something I want to experiment with. 1 second. If I do something like this, 1 second. If I have an object, like, let me duplicate this block right here, right? I have this block, right? Right there. Right? Actually, let's not test this here. I want to be over here. we have this block, right? This experimental block. And I'm going to make it so on create, what he's going to do is that he's going to remove his own collision mask. It would be index, mask index, I believe. Let me check with manual. Mask index. Okay. When you define a key objective, you assign a mask to be used for collisions. This variable can be used to find the empty expanding max, or whether if no sprite has been assigned, or set the max on an instant of the chosen sprite. A sprite instance with a regular shape. Okay. So you can actually set this to basically, if I do this, if I set it to -1, right, it should have no collision in theory. Let me see. So I should, nice, I can still collide with it, which is not what I want. Okay, so -1 doesn't work. I believe I had an empty sprite somewhere, right here, a sprite empty. What collision mask do you have? It's just a dot on the center. That still doesn't work for me. If I set it like this, to have no pixels, does that work? And I can set it to simply image empty. Let's see. How about if I over here instead simply change the sprite underscore index to be the sprite underscore empty. If I do that, what will happen? Let me see. This guy is right there, right? I will put it right on the middle of the door just so I can actually test it. Right? Okay. So we go over here, we go up, we go to the right. So it's supposed to be right here on the middle. Yeah, I can collide with it still. Funny enough. That's so annoying. That's so fucking annoying. Ah! Okay. Let me do a little bit of research here. How do I game maker remove collision from object? So these are collisions from game maker that adjust the collision max index. Instant execution function max instead determine the collision mask. Except for the something to set it to 1 by my transparent sprite or many basic collision. Hmm. Okay, so what I was trying to do, it was to make basically chest invisible, and when you basically trigger the finish the puzzle, it have it appear basically, but it doesn't seem to be any easy way to actually set this to work correctly. Even though I give it basically an empty collision box, it still actually triggers, which is very annoying. It still comes like a 1x1 frame, which is annoying. Can I change the size to 0? I can only set it to 1. I wish there was a way to just like hide. Anything? Okay, there is this one function they are mentioning called instance deactivate object. What does this do? With this function can deactivate a single instance for an instance of the specific object. Also have been activated previously. Okay. So let me see if this works. If I just say objects deactivate object, it will basically deactivate itself, basically, like this. And to activate the object, what do I do? I just activate objects. Okay. So I can just say activate object with a specific ID. So I could, for example, hold on, I'm processing. Give me a moment. Class sprites. Where is my object? Okay, so we have a here. We don't have a trigger, basically, right? Hidden spawn. That is a spawn. Okay. So I could maybe have a hidden activation. Maybe. So I can just duplicate this and call this in activation, right? So what I do here is check for triggers, and rather than spawn, I will set this as target, right? And I don't need these ones. We check for the triggers, right? Check for triggers, find for triggers, check ID, return false or true. Next step, we check for triggers. We don't need to spawn anything. We just need to instance activate object, and that would be our target, right? And I will set if no one, we just return. If target is simply no one, we just return. If not, we activate the target and we self-destruct, right? And here I will set to no one as default. In that way we have a hidden activator, right? So now I can go over here and kill this block because I don't need it. And I can have a block right there that I can deactivate, right? How do I deactivate this? Not tab, creation code, inherit, rotation, flip, image speed. Where do you deactivate the object? Oh, right here. Wait, is that correct?
Holy EI.
Hola Spy, hola hola, bienvenido. Bienvenido, bienvenido. Hola hola. I'm trying to figure out this thing. How do I deactivate an instance? Game maker deactivate instance. Activates process show things as technically it doesn't exist as a dead pointer with activation process held. It means the activation cannot be manually checked in any way until it's activated again. Okay, apparently you can actually do it. Okay, so if I set a target for my activation target, let's say right here, right? and I will need to modify my code a little bit. So on creation, I'm just going to trigger the this if ¿Estoy bien, Spike? ¿Cómo estás tú? ¿Todo bien, me imagino? Espero. I'm going to set target. Right? Oh, this is the hidden spawn. Hold on. I'm on the ground thing. Ok. ¿Me la llevas? Qué bueno. Estoy tratando de hacer un cofre invisible. If target is not no one. We deactivate object target, right? When we start the thingy, right? No one and I just say target no one, right? We deactivate the object on create, and on step we check if the triggers are true. If they are, we activate and self-destruct. Right? So in that case, right here, I can set my target to be this guy, right? I can literally, hold on. I can grab the name of the instance right there and set it right there. And the switch, I will set it to the brazier, and I will add a brazier object right here. In theory, that should work. Yeah. Ok, veamos. What? Ok, y paso por aquí. Oh, that's the ground. Oh, it actually works. Nice. Okay, that works. That's perfect. Nice. Ok. Un momento. Necesito ir al baño y regresar en un momento. Ok. Al menos ya tengo eso solucionado. At least I figured that out. Nice. Okay. I'll be right back. One moment. I'll be right back. Like I say, hello. Okay, so that's working, which is pretty nice. Which means over here, now that we succeeded on making that work, I can literally use the hidden activation thingy right here, right? And what I'm going to do is place a chest, basically. Chest. Where are you? Chest, right here. Right? The location of the chest here needs to be like right there, right? So I'm going to just new, place it right there, right? And I simply here tell this guy right here that your target is this guy right here, right? I just set it right there, and your switch are going to be the bracers. And now you need to turn all the bracers to make the chest appear, right? Now for the chest itself, I'm going to simply let the lock be normal, right? The drop here is going to be a treasure. Should I make a special treasure chest where I make the drop only treasures? Should that be a good idea? I wonder, because I have not made any treasures for putting on the different treasure chest. What do you guys think? I just realized that. Una rama se sabe si es posible descifrar una contraseña de WinRAR. En teoría es posible, sí. Dependiendo de cómo tengas la contraseña. Si nada más tienes el archivo de WinRAR, es posible que sea difícil. Depende de mucho de si tienes al menos la contraseña, aunque esté cifrada. Porque una cosa es descifrar una contraseña encriptada y otra cosa es adivinar una contraseña. Depende de qué estés hablando. But treasures, money? We were planning like having these Easter eggs. Basically, to have like, I don't know if you have ever played Kirby's Adventure, Superstar Adventure, where they have like this a screen that is filled with treasures you can find in the game that are basically Easter eggs from different Nintendo franchises. I want to do something like that, basically. Yeah. Entonces, si lo que tienes es que tienes una contraseña cifrada y quieres descifrarla, es posible, pero es muy difícil. Si quieres adivinar una contraseña, eso es diferente. Y en teoría es posible de hacer. Puedes hacerlo utilizando un diccionario de contraseñas conocidas. Me parece que las puedes encontrar en internet. Las contraseñas más comunes que existen en el mundo. O puedes utilizar un programa que básicamente usa fuerza bruta, probando todas las combinaciones hasta que encuentra la contraseña correcta. Existen esas dos opciones. Yeah. Sure, why not? Are they going to use different treasure chests? The idea was to just use one kind of treasure chest, but the issue is because I cannot make even a single one of the treasures. This thing basically doesn't have a treasure for me to actually use as a placeholder or anything. That's the issue, basically. So that's one thing. Yeah. I do have like a list of the potential treasures we want in the game, but I have not really bothered to actually implement any of them. Digo, pues extraje algunos archivos de mi antigua computadora y sí encontré varios comprimidos. Pues lo que podría hacer es simplemente probar todas las contraseñas que has usado, que recuerdes. La otra cosa es que, pues, no hay forma a menos de que busques una persona que se dedique a eso, a romper contraseñas. Me parece que hay compañías que se dedican a recuperar información, que tienen software que está hecho para eso, para romper contraseñas. Pero creo que eso lo tienes que pagar, básicamente. Yeah. We could I could actually maybe make a treasure just here right now. Let me see. Electric green circuit. Let's see. This looks like a nice image. Let me see. Oh, this might actually be useful. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Okay, 1 second. Okay, this might be a little bit funny to do, but let's see. Let's go to sprites and let's make a folder specifically called treasures. Okay, so I'm going to add our first treasure to the game. In one. That actually looks pretty good. Funny enough. So I will simply since it's not really an item and it's going to be just like a collectible, maybe I should make a specific chest for it. So we have object chest and we have a crate. And dungeon energy, sharpening chest, and light key, direction down, minimum of time, load, light trigger, chest color, increase layer drops drop. I can maybe use this one as a base. Okay, so let's duplicate this and I will call this treasure chest. Am I writing treasure correctly? I'm starting to doubt myself. That's a word I don't often type, so I don't even know if that's correct. Treasure? Yeah, see, it is working correctly. Working, excuse me, is written correctly. What the hell am I saying? I kinda have the impulse to change the sprite. Gizmo hover flag equals to true. Okay, that's fine. Dungeon, get dungeon objects. Do I use this one? Not here. Trigger dungeon letter lock normal. Trigger puzzle hidden. And I don't really need this. So I can remove all of this. Chest sprite, chest close, chest open chest, and block type with normal open chest. I don't need this one either, apparently. So we have a lock type that triggers if it's normal. We do that. Lock type triggers a sprite lock type open. This is just to close the lock if necessary. Dungeon is not going to be relevant here, so I can just remove that. Then we have a chest, lock and normal. Object layer. Close enough and press F, the lock type open. We change the sprite. We check for that, and if not, we just simply do the drop. Save data and store. Save data, it simply updates the lock type. Just lock type open, we simply change that. We can remove this right here. Locked up, locked down, that's fine. The lock here is fine. Dungeon we don't need. Track the name is going to be called treasure chest. Key, key, direction down. Let's call this direction lock. We have a variable right here, right? I can just set this over here. No need to have an extra variable for that. So I can remove this. The drop can stay, chest color not necessary. Trigger. I don't need that. So we have the book and the gizmo, treasure chest, direction, lock, and lock type. And we just need to modify this. I believe. Do I show instance gizmo? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so basically we just need to modify this right here, and we are ready to do that. Well, I suppose it's something I need to do eventually. The whole ta-da-da jingle and the player basically getting an item, right? So I could create an animation right here, right now. Let's see. Pick up gizmo, object none, set to false. Let me see, where did I make that? Okay, pick up the sign, pick up gizmo. Pick up flag, pick up gizmo. Oh, I see. So basically, on the actual pickup, I changed the player flag and set the frames and trigger the thingy. Okay. Okay, I see. So that's what I'm doing. I see. Okay. So maybe I should create animation. So how are we going to do this? How about how about I make it a generic function? So basically I go over here, I go to utils. Maybe I should break up utils because it's kind of getting silly, the amount of different information I have right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is very simple. We're going to trigger let's call it item of animation, right? So we're going to do this. And we're going to have an animation state, right? So we are going to go. Okay, let's map out what we need to do basically. So first, when we pick up the function, pick up the item, we are going to call this function, right? So the first thing we need to do is pause, right? Next, we are going to need to play the new item song, right? Then at the same time, we need to show the item sprite above here, right? We pause, we play the jingle, show the item above player. We also need to change the player, sprite to new pick up sprite, right? All this needs to happen basically at the same time, right? After we do that, we wait for the player to press any button, right? For any inputs. Then we show big, right? Big sprite of item on the screen, basically front and center, right? With show item text box description. Basically the dialog telling us what the item is, and then we wait for inputs, then change player sprite to normal, and then pause the game. That's what we need to do, right? Game right? Those are the things we need to do, basically. Not too difficult, right? So to pause the game is very simple. We simply say global dot pause equals to true. Just like that. Right? Then we need to change the sprite to Pico sprite. This we need to do. Right? Play a new item, new song. We need the song. Song. Right? Let me fix this one. Make layer pick up a sprite. Right? Show the item about player. We can do that. It's not a default. We simply use the player object as a reference, right? So we just simply draw the sprite in the location, right? Hold on. To make this easier, I could simply over here in the draw UI pickup flag. This is the basic pickup right here, right? So I could do something similar right here, but I will call it a pickup animation. Item pickup animation. Let's call it new item pickup animation so I cannot get confused. And I can recycle this pickup object, right? This right here is basically this. This is just the hover and show the gizmo. Gizmo hover X speed. Hover X 32, bring function for hover X, and we ground the spy and the position on the hover. Okay, instead of this, we are going to just grab this function right there, right? And what I'm going to do is replace this, right? And what I'm going to do is we pick up objects. Okay. Grab this. So I go over here. And what I'm going to do is change this or that, right? This is we are drawing this right above the player is the goal. Right here we're on the player, right? So I need to basically remove a certain amount, and over here we're using basically 32 to 34, so I will put it on 24 for now. So we draw the sprite, right? And we need to do it for a certain amount of time, right? So we need to basically set an alarm like this one. So alarm number 2, and let's call this new item pickup animation, just like that. And right here we simply under the flags. So I can just grab the flag I'm using right here and change it to false. And like that at the end of the alarm. And the way I'm using the flag, let me see. We are setting it up like this. We simply set the alarm like that. Okay. So basically here we are going to do that. To show this, we are going to set animation alert 2. Wait, we cannot use an alarm actually. Yeah, we cannot really use an alarm. So I need to have this deleted. Okay. So we have this and this flag set. So what I need to do over here is not set the alarm. The object is going to be whatever sprite we selected. Sprite. Right? And we are going to set the animation flag on. This one. So that will show the item above the player, right? Right? So then when we unpause the game, we will also remove this, set this to false. We will also need to set the pause equals to false to get the game going. The pickup we need to set to undefined, like that, to clean everything. Here I can just set the object underscore player dot sprite index to be sprite underscore player underscore title down to set the sprite to normal right there, right? To wait for inputs, we need to wait for any input. This might be actually more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Creating this animation. Of what? The player grabbing a new item, basically. Yeah. Maybe instead of doing this here, I need to do it on the player itself. I'm starting to think that instead of trying to create a function. Hmm. Yeah, because we need to show basically a dialogue right here, right? So this is going to be a more complex thing that I thought it was going to be. Okay, so let's see status state. I grab this and trigger the. Whoa! Hold down. Attack. The fuck? Why are you being? There we go. God damn it. Okay, so I'm going to have to make a new enum basically to handle that. Right. Okay. So, enum. We'll call this animation. Item. Pick up animation, and we are going to call these different states. We will call this start. Right, is when we pause. Actually, let me separate this over here first. So we have the start, right, where we basically grab the item, we pause the game, right? So this here is the start, right there, right? We show the change to the sprite, we play the song, and show the sprite over the player, right? Then we need to wait, right? This is the second state, that is wait for item, for input, right here. Then we show the item box, that is the dialog, right there is our second state. Right? Then once more we wait for inputs, right here. And then we undo trees, everything else. This basically is the ending, right? Over here. Right there. So we have basically two waits for inputs. One dialog, one we have the ramp up, and then the wind down, right? So over here we have the start. Let's set this to let's call this one as wait. Wait one. Then we have the dialog. Then we have a wait two. And then we have the ending, end. Like that, right? Switch off the chest. That is also something that needs to do, but I believe that's going to happen on the chest itself. Okay, so we have that, right? So this function right here is not going to be really useful as it is. Or maybe, yes, 1 second. I could simply move this somewhere else. Like I could go not here, but on the player maybe, on the create. I can have maybe animation right here. Item, pick up animation. Okay, function. Actually, just pass. Okay, so we have this. And let's call this on item, new item, pickup, right?
Red heart emoji. Waving hand emoji.
Hola, bienvenido mundo. Welcome mundo. Welcome. How are you doing today? Okay, so on item pickup, we will simply pause the game, right? We will do this, and this is a different function right here, right? So then we will call this function on wait on new item pickup wait 1 for now, and we do this. We just wait for the player to press a button, right? Then we show the dialog. Function on new item pick up dialog. Okay. How are you doing today, Mundo? Let's see. We move this over here because that's for the dialogue, right? I don't need this state. Actually, I do, just to open the thing over here. No, this one right here. Okay. Then, after this is done, we are going to function on wait on new item pickup wait 2, right? And that's going to be this one right here. I'll wait for inputs. Right? And then we move on to the next function that is going to be the dialog. Right? And that dialog is going to be... Wait, no, this is the on white, right? We already have the dialog right there, so it's just the ending. Okay. So we move this over here, and it's going to be not dialog but end. Okay. So we're going to do it like this. Okay. While no bar press equal to get underscore none. What was the to get the player inputs? Get inputs. I don't remember. Keyboard press. Check right there. Okay. keyboard, press keyboard underscore check key, clear, press map and button, set default status. Keyboard, do we have a name? Keyboard check. Hold on, let me see if there is something on the manual about the keyboard check or the numerical again. Oh, okay, I see. There is a virtual key called any key. Okay. So I can just say check press any key. And then if that's correct, we simply wait, basically. Actually, I can just move this over here. This is going to be right there. Then it is pressed, then we switch or animation state. It's going to be an item, pick of animation dot ends, because we're exiting, right? And I can do the same thing right here, but for one right there, and instead of end we just move into dialog, right? Actually, I don't need to do it like this. Hold on. I can simply move this over here, right? And I will just make this an if. If and you press, and we switch our state. If not, we remain the same way we are. Right? And this we can simply change the animation underscore state. So undefined. Okay. Right? So we start, right? The animation. We pick up as an item. We switch and change the player's current sprite to be the pick up sprite, right? Then we play the little jingle for item pickup. Then we show the item about the player. So I just trigger this, right? That will show the item about the player. Then we wait for a key press before switching to the dialog, and for that I believe it's better if I just move this way and dialog like that. We wait for any press and change the dialog. On dialog we show the text box for the particular item we got and show a big sprite of the item. wait for any press, and we then end the whole animation. The sequence is better set. So I can probably use animation state for this. Actually. So over here on Draw UI, I can just simply check for the animation state. Make sure it's not undefined, right? So then we can use a switch right here. And it's going to be very simple. We check for the animation state, and we are going to set this by cases. Case item pickup animation is start. We set we draw the sprite. We are showing right above the player, right? Then on the next case, that's for start, right? On the weight we do nothing because that's unimportant. And then we on case item animation dot dialog. We're going to simply show the sprite but on B. So I could simply show it on a room width over 2 and room height over 2, not over 0, over 2, right? And instead of showing it on size 1, since our item sprites are going to be of a specific size, let's say 32, we can simply set this to 0.5 to half it, right? And here, if I want to, what would be like a good nice size? Let me see. If we place the from like this, I would say like having it like right here. The object about this size would be nice, right? What size is that? Something like about this size would be nice, like that, at the center. So a times 3 would be good, I suppose. Okay, so we go back over here, and we are going to make this a times 3. Right? And that means if it's size 32, it should be what? 96 pixels big, basically. So I will remove 96 from here and 96 from here, so it's centered, right? And what else? I need to show the text, the dialogue. So draw How was I working with the dialogues again? I don't remember. Hold on. Dialogue. Dialogue. I was using this. I have a line of dialogue like this. Oh, I was using this. Oh. Character name, dialogue, translate color. Okay, this is going to be harder than I thought. To keep the dialogues consistent, I would need to use this. Yeah. Oh. Translate color text. It shows alpha dialogue test. Character name. Character sprite. Okay, I think I can extrapolate this actually. Okay. I'm going to have to make a new set of scripts actually. Okay, here we go again. Dialogue. Let's call it dialog. I say dialog box. So just a static of the box resides directly with the content. It's static currently. I'm going to copy all this text over here. And I'm going to just paste this. Okay. And I can remove this. Okay, so I need to provide a character sprite. So let's call this underscore char sprite, right? And then we need character name and dialog test. Dialog test. Okay. And I just need to change these ones in here. Right? And character name. And then we're gonna also have the dialog test. Like that. Okay. So we have this thingy right here that is going to be interesting. I can actually test this fairly easily. I just need to move this over here. Dialog box. And just say we need a character sprite, char underscore sprite, and then char name, and then dialog text, like that. that should be working normally. Kinda. Okay, so with this in theory, if my dialog box is working as I want it to work, if I hit play and start a new game, it should just work, right? And it crashed! Lovely. Animation statement set. Okay. Abort. Okay, we go over here. I'm just going to add the I will add it right here. Animation state equals to undefined. Okay, let's go. So new game. Okay, we are working correctly. Nice. Right? Let's see. And right here is where that is the dialog box is showing correctly. No issues. Okay, that's working fine. Okay, perfect. That means our dialog box is working as intended. Okay, so now that we have that, over here, I can just say dialog box char. I can I believe I can just say that there is no character name, right? Oh, I can leave it empty, the character sprite. I check if it's undefined. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I can just do some optimization right here. I can grab this and move it to the end, right? And what I can do right here is, because what important is the most important on a dialog box is the text, right? So in theory, the name can be left blank if necessary, so I can just set it by default to be a blank string. The character sprite, I can set it by default to be undefined, right? So I don't have to include them. The only mandatory thing that I have to include is the text, right? So here I can simply say and that should be enough to show something with the pickup, right? Okay, now that we have all that nonsense, I simply need to trigger the new pickup with a sprite to make all things begin and trigger everything correctly, right? This item pickup. So we go back to our treasure chest, and simply when we open our treasure chest right here, we're going to say, hey, object layer dot this, run this function with or a drop treasure chest. So I will call this a treasure, right? Wait. Yeah. Treasure. That's completely misspelled. Okay. Treasure right there. And we're going to have a list of treasures, right? And our first one is going to be the sprite underscore game underscore decorate. Actually, let me change the name of that. Sprite treasures. Yeah, it's actually named completely different. Okay. Sprite underscore Factorio green circuit. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. Like that. Right? So now I just say, hey, display this treasure right here, right? I just say treasure like that. And in theory, if I go and over here, not here. What is it? Let's go to the room on F1. Let's go this one? No, that's too deep. That's close enough. Okay. So I grab our treasure chest and place it right there. Right? I'm going to set this to be the green circuit already. Okay, that's fine. Right. So if I go to this treasure chest, I'll do go into the dungeon, go into the treasure chest. Right? We have the open animation. And open. Crash! Lovely! What happened here? Oh no, no, object dropped. I don't have to read it. Okay, what happened there? Okay, oh, I see. It's because I have set this to... okay, that's the issue. Basically, I need to add my... no joke. I need another guy right here. I'll just call this no one. Like that. And let's set the default to no one. So I can trigger this part without issue. Right? I believe that's it. Okay. Okay, so over here. This is going to be the green circuit. Okay. Okay. Basically, I had a variable that didn't exist because I changed its name and forgot to change it on everywhere where it appeared on the game, basically. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, ha! Okay, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh wait, I can break the... Yeah, the game actually paused, yes. But it didn't do what I wanted, sadly. Okay, let's give it another try, shall we? The game did pause, it's just not the kind of pause I wanted. Yeah, it didn't show the text box. Okay, so we are right here, right? If I press open. We are paused right now. It's not showing the text box. Yeah, huh. And I can unpause. Okay, so that's an issue. What's happening here? Okay, so we triggered the new pickup, right? Right here. We pause the game. Oh, I never switched the animation state right here. I need to switch the animation state to item animation state, and that would be wait 1, right? Pick up animation. We are on start, so it should be showing. Actually, I don't need the wait 1. Wait. That should be like that. Okay. The issue is that we were not changing to animation 1, but we never actually set to animation the correct animation moments. That means here we need to actually set the object layer dot animation state to be animation start, basically, and then we call the treasure, right? Actually, no, hold on. I'm rethinking stuff as I go. This new pickup is going to be called, right? So instead of setting to wait 1, I can just set to start. And we will wait here for the next pickup, right? So we go to dry UI, and I can break this one. I don't need that one. I don't need the wait 1. Right? And when we are on start, we can start checking for the key input right here. I need to close this because it's confusing me. Right, we check for the new input. Did I eat a no right there, actually? Right there. We wait for the input to change to the next phase. Right, so when we piece that, it will throw us to the animation. Right, okay, so let's see. We go in, we go over here, we go to the right. Right, so I press this, and there is the dialogue. Yeah. And I'm stuck here. I can unpause myself, but I cannot remove the dialogue. And the sprite is not really getting stretched for some reason. It's just like there, which is not what I wanted. Okay. So this right here on press probably is not correct. Unlike the keyboard check pushes only when the keys press down. Okay, press should be correct. But I can change it to release instead. Actually, I can just set it to as it is, as pressed. The issue is because we are waiting already. It's a bit of an issue. Because we are waiting for any key. How about we wait for a second? How about that? I can use a variable. Let's call it wait for frames, and I will set this to 0 by default, right? And over here, what I'm going to do is just say it if wait for frames is greater or equals greater than 0, we simply remove frames, right? And I will simply set this to wait for 30 frames to start, right? So that will prevent the key from going off immediately into it. Right, so if I go here and I say it did change immediately. What did that happen? Returns true when exactly? Returns true again the key must first be present when second. The functions null returns false. It sorta works, but not quite. Because it's keeping over here for some reason, which is kinda annoying. I'm missing a return writer. Okay. Let's see. We go over here and hook. That actually worked right there. That was actually correct. Yeah. Okay. So I go. Imagine this. You are in the dungeon and looking for stuff. You come across a treasure chest, right? So you go there and press, and it goes the ta-da-da-da with the object hovering over you. And press again, and opens the description for the item. Press again, and you can go on your merry way, right? So now I just need to trigger the other one, where I just simply do the wait loop, right? And I will just add this right here for the wait loop, right? And I set frames to 1 second. Let's set it to 60. And on pick up dialog, we can hide these, I suppose. And once we trigger this, we go to the end. So we trigger all this and we're finished. Okay, this might actually work now. Right, so we go in, we go over here, we go over here, and we do it. Ta-da-da! And then it's not triggering. Become wait, not set before. Wait. Huh? What did you mean in not set before raining? I see. It's missing a no for some reason. Okay, let's give it another try. We go over here and it's simply boop, ta-da-da, right? And then I tapped a little bit too much. And it didn't remove this pause, which is kind of weird. Yeah, it sounds very trivial when you think about it, right? But it's kind of not letting itself be trivial. Okay, so we're right here, right? I press F, we show the item, right? All good so far. And then we press again, and nothing is happening, right? I press again, nothing is happening. One more, nope. Now it triggers. Yeah, the game is paused also. And that did work. The game still paused. It didn't unpause for some reason. Huh. That's weird. There is some kind of delay, yeah. Okay, maybe the trick is that because I'm checking for the input right here, right? Maybe that's the issue. How about I move it somewhere more active, like right here? So I will put it down there. Let's call this new item. Animating input check, right? And I simply make a switch, right? And I will just copy this. Right, and I will delete the drawing parts and the dialog box like that. I'm just checking for the animations, right? And over here I remove the weights because those are inputs, right? So I do it like this. In theory, it should work better. Let's see. So I'm right here, I open, we are showing the new item we got, we press again, and nothing happened. Press again, nothing happened. Oh, there we go, and then it goes, but we didn't unpause. That's weird, what's happened there? What the fuck? It's behaving exactly the same way. Even though I separated the thing to a different... Okay, so we go on pickup, right? And we switch to animation start. We are right here, executing this. Then we switch to dialogue, right? To show the dialogue event. Then we execute this, waiting for the animation end. This actually needs to be on the other side. Why is this happening? Okay, let me run a demo. Okay, so we are over here. I go over here. Okay, before we start, I'm going to go over here and set some debug flags real quick, just to see what's happening, right? Okay, here we go. Right, I'm going to open. That's the first flag. And over here we can see we're setting the pose to true, right? Okay. Let's continue. We set the pick of to sprite, the sprite we want. So this now has the sprite we're going to show. We set this to true, right? We move on again. We switch animation state from define to start. Then we set to wait for 30 frames, right? We continue. We executed this. So we exit. We save our data. Store the data. Break. What is this? Step. Unload chest. We go to the book. We go to normal. Menu inventory. We move to log. Alternate the book. That's on something else. Okay. We are back here in new item on the wait, right? Right here, frames is equal to 30, right? So we move forward, decrease that, and we return. So this is now 29, right? And we do that basically 30 times, right? So we continue. This is 29, then 28, 27, 28, 5. I should have made the weight smaller. Okay, so we are now right here. We're checking for the button press, right? So we move over. The button press is currently 0, so it's false, right? So we skip. We set wait. That's the issue, because I'm setting wait for frames right there. So when we go back, what happens is that I'm basically making myself wait again for 1 second. That's the issue. Okay, I got it. Hola, bienvenido, Spy. Bienvenido, bienvenido. Basically, I need to This wait for frames needs to be inside the key press. Right there. Yeah. That's the issue. Yeah. And then over here, I believe I entered the dialog and was showing that, right? And we triggered wait 2. That needs to be for also a certain amount of time, right? And once we are done with that, we go to pick up end. Yeah. Okay. So we go over here, we go up, we go to the right, and then we open. Poof, we show the item, right? I press again, and we show the explanation. I press again, and it's closed, and now it's stuck. Yay! Okay, now let's see what happened there. Spy se quedó sin tema para platicar. No hay problema, no te preocupes. Sucede de vez en cuando. Okay, so the issue here is that once we go to dialog, we don't really run anything else. So I can simply just say, hey, we need to run end, right? On end state, we say on new item pickup with item. Do I not have the end? Oh, there is the issue. On item new item pickup end, and we execute that, and with that it should be working now. Okay. Más. Okay, so we go to our little chest, and we go the show the information, and then we close, and we can move normal. Nice, it's working. Now the only issue is that the image is not the correct size, the correct size. Oh, okay. So this thing for some reason is not trying this, right? Oh, that's the image. Okay, let me check if I can change this function real quick. And sprite image index. Sprite extended. Zoom image, scale X and Y, color, rot and alpha. Okay. Okay. So there is this one function right here. The sprite is basically our pickup, right? Zoom image is going to just be 0. The position is going to be this right here for X and Y, right? For the scale, it's going to be interesting right here, because the scale we're going to use is 3 for X and Y. The rotation, I will leave it at 0. Color, I can set it to display normally. White. The alpha is, I will leave it at 1. Okay. That should show the sprite I want, the correct way I want it. Okay. Oof. File 2, let's go. Okay, ready? Ta-da-da. Shows the item. Another press. Oh, it actually looks better. It's not centered, but it's way better. Yeah. Maybe because it's centered. That could be it. Actually, okay, so I could simply... is it the center, right? So if I multiply the size of the sprite by 3, it should be... Actually, it would correct itself if I set it to 6, maybe? Let's see. Okay. Ta-da! And... whoa, that's big. Maybe 6 is not such a good idea. Let's set it at 4, right? For the scale. And the location... maybe I should just set it centered. Maybe I'm screwing myself over by moving it to the side. Se me ocurrió algo. Spy intentó instalar Windows 7, 8, 8.9 USB. No funcionó ninguno. Sí, porque muchos Windows comparten sistema de archivos. Entonces, si estás instalando a la misma USB, lo que vas a hacer es que vas a suscribir los archivos de los diferentes Windows y se van a corromper entre ellos. Tiene que ser un sistema operativo por cada USB. Básicamente, yeah. Al menos en Windows. Maybe, tal vez podrías tener Linux and Windows en la misma USB, pero no el mismo Windows, creo. Nunca he intentado en realidad instalar Windows, más de un Windows en la misma USB, la verdad. Ok, 3, 2, 1, go. Ok, showing correct. And nice, that actually looks nice. It's a little bit lower than I thought it was going to be. I need to make it a little bit higher, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so let's set the height. How about I set it to minus 32. So it's a little bit higher. And I need to do something about the text also. Si vas a hacer cosas así, yo recomendaría que formatees la USB. Aunque no sé exactamente qué estás tratando de hacer, la verdad. Let's set new text, I suppose. I can say a new item pick up text, and let's set it to empty at the end of the operation, right? And we will need to make it a variable in the system, right? And maybe I can simply set it on the treasure chest. I can just call it text, right? And I will make it a string. Instead of writing here, how much can I write here? Instead of writing that here, how about I call a function instead? Let's see, scripts, yellow box. How about I simply call here function get new item pick up text, and I will receive a sprite of the item, right? And I will have an array right here, a bar text list equals to the text I want for each thing, and I will just return. Actually, I can just maybe set it like this, switch, and say sprite, right? Check for the sprite tag, and then I can just return the text I want on the specific case, and I can say sprite underscore right, like this, and just write here the text for the thingy, right? Tal vez el problema que tienes es que no formateaste la USB a una memoria bootable. ¿Podría ser eso? Porque yo sí he creado USBs con sistemas operativos, pero no lo hago muy seguido, la verdad. Entonces no sabría decirte exactamente dónde podría estar el error. Okay, so I grab the green pico text and I will just go to the thing over here. And I will just say get. Actually, I don't even need to provide the text. Actually, I do. Get new item pickup, and I will just provide the object like that, and that will give us the little text over here in some way. Aunque debo esos problemas vienen de manera manual extraño archivos y eso. Yeah, green card with the mysterious engravings. What was it right here? And that. It looks quite nice. It looks nice, right? I like the word you use, mysterious. Let me add it to the text. Okay, let me do one more run just to make sure the text actually fits in the dialog box. Real quick. It doesn't quite. Maybe I need to remove a few words. Yeah. I could just say green card. I don't need to say shaped object. Something like that. Mysterious card has this strange green card has mysterious color engraving. That looks fun. I like it. Okay, so we got the thing done. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Just to make it maybe a little bit more clean, I can maybe change this because it's not very readable. So let me change it like this. Card bar is for text. Text. And I will set it like that. And I will just pass this to the dialog. Like that. Yeah. So the final version will have all the lights and bumper. Yeah. It's supposed to have it. Yes. It looks quite nice already. It's very basic, but it kinda serves the purpose quite nicely, I believe. Yeah. It's pretty late already, so I think I'm going to stop here for today. We already made quite a bit of progress. Next time we will start with the monsters for the dungeon, which is probably going to be extremely annoying, and I'm going to be butting heads with the pathfinding once more. Lovely, lovely, just lovely.
If they look weird beside the finished wall, holy EI.
Yeah. Weeks wasted fixing enemy AI. Yes, indeed. Ah. We will see. I will figure it out. Somehow. I need to figure it out. Yeah. Okay. So let's stop here for today. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more Elden Ring. Sí. Voy a parar aquí. Necesito ir a cenar. Y los veré mañana para Elden Ring. Yeah. Gracias por venir. Thank you so much for coming. And have a good night. Buenas noches. Que descansen. Good night, good night. Bye bye, bye bye. Buenas noches. Que descansen. Bye bye. Good night. Bye bye. Bye bye, bye bye. And goodbye.
Noise. What treasures? Money? Sure, why not? Are they going to use different treasure chests? Oh. What? Have a chest opening? Or player acquiring an item? Yes. Also switch off the chest? Red heart emoji, waving hand emoji. Hello. Isn't that pretty huge? Well, as long as the player can get to it. So is it just static, or does the text box resizes dynamically with the content? Task failed successfully. Test done. What's the reason? No text box. So the game is paused. So it works, just not the text box. Yay. It sorta works. I hate it when supposedly trivial stuff takes a million years to program and test to get it right. Is the game paused too? So is time delay or something? Nice. Green card with mysterious gold engravings. Yeah, it does. Maybe green tablet, since it fits more of a medieval pre-modern theme. So strange green tablet. So the final version will have all the lights and fanfare. Yay. Weeks wasted on fixing enemy eye. Weeks will be wasted. Okay, good night everyone. Croissant. Rice cracker emoji. Banana emoji.